Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. It's Chamber Check-in time. And today I have Chris Moeness with us today. He is a associate broker at Fathom Realty. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Paul. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. And, we've known each other for a handful of years, and you've been very active in the Chamber's activities, graduate of Leadership Boise, part of our tips groups. I think you were part of our ambassador program at one point a few
Yep.
years ago. And you've stuck with us through all the pandemic. And thank you for your membership, Chris.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for being there for me to be a member.
Hey, these check-ins are really designed to help share our members' stories and a little bit about their backgrounds and passions and the business that they're involved with. So I look forward to you sharing a little bit about the real estate industry and your history of work and kind of your origin story as well. But first, I get to thank our series sponsor for these check-ins, Chris, and it's Delta Dental of Idaho. And Delta Dental has been providing dental insurance benefits to Idahoans for over 50 years. And with that, I get to share a fun factoid from their Tooth Truth series. Here we go.
Hey, did you know that the Statue of Liberty's mouth is 3 feet wide? That's a serious set of chompers.
I like that one.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Well, I did.
I didn't either. I didn't know that. That's funny though.
So, Chris, where are you at today? Where is this, your home office, or are you in a headquarters somewhere?
Oh, this is my home office. I'd flip the camera around and show you a little tour of the office, but it is a disaster and has been. But I'm slowly getting it to a point where I'm proud of and can show off. But it's not there, so this is all you're going to see.
I love it. I love it. So start us off, Chris. Tell us a little bit about your history. And I know from reading your bio and a little bit on LinkedIn, you've moved and lived in a lot of different places in the country and a lot of different industries that you've worked in. So bring us up to speed and tell us why you chose the Treasure Valley as your home.
Well, to tell that story, I'm going to have to go back all the way to 1986 and go through each month in great detail. Oh, no, I'll spare you. So, yeah, I lived all over the place and in Colorado, got a job at Red Lobster and stuck with that job for quite a while and was transferred to the Red Lobster here in Boise. And I moved out here because I wanted to go to NNU and in, I think, Nampa. And when I moved out here, I almost immediately decided, actually, I do not want to go to NNU and spend $20,000 a year. And so I decided to not do that. I went to BSU. I stuck with my Red Lobster job and then got promoted to manager and moved to Olympia, Washington for 2 years. And I was trying to get back to town. I loved Boise. I had some amazing friendships here and was trying to move back, but I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I certainly didn't want to go back to a restaurant. And a friend of mine had suggested that because I had been learning about investing in the stock market and had some success early on, that I should look into real estate investing. And so I did, and I came across a podcast called Bigger Pockets Podcast that's all about investing in the real estate market and different ways you could do that. And I listened to the first one and it blew me away. And immediately it was all I could listen to for weeks was this Bigger Pockets podcast. And I was sharing it with everyone I know. Nobody was ever as excited as I was about it. But I was like, yes, this is what I'm going to do. What better way to learn how to invest in real estate than actually do real estate, become an agent, which everyone that I asked said, don't do it. Don't do it. Everybody knows 15 real estate agents. They weren't lying, but I was like, nah, I'm going to do it. I can do better than most. And so I moved back in 2015. And I think 2 days after I moved back, I was in real estate school and been real estate ever since.
So since 2015, that's when you started?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, and you've been an elevated realtor since then as well, because I know some of your talents, Chris, and you're very good at what you do. And I always appreciate when we meet, our topics of conversation are always credible, always quick-witted on your end. And I think it's great that you've stayed in the industry. Tell us some of the expertise that you bring to the table for your clients.
Yeah, I recently said this in our tips group that I like to think of myself as an overweight Spartan holding a shield in front of my clients. And so that's how I visualize it. I want to protect my clients from all the BS, all the crap that's out there. And so that's how I go into each deal, each new client. Try to protect them as best I can from all of the crap. And I also try to make every one of my clients feel like they are my only client. So very rarely do I ever say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was on the phone with another client." Even if that were the case, I wouldn't say that, because I always want my clients to feel like they are my number one priority. And then just continued education. I'm constantly learning. I love learning new topics. Last year was slower than what I had hoped for, but I took advantage of it, and I applications and got my broker's license. All in, it's probably 200 hours of additional education. So yeah, I guess that's kind of what I bring. Just a few things of what I bring.
I love it. It's so important to have a realtor on your side that can help negotiate deals, find the property that you're looking for, and within the right amount of time. And so that was kind of one of my questions too, Chris, is what's the time frame now, people, when finding a home, putting an offer, and the closing on a deal? What does that look like nowadays?
Well, once you get an offer accepted, you're looking at about a 30-day close. That's pretty typical. Now, getting the offer accepted, that's something else entirely different than that. And there's so many factors that go into that. Price range, the amount that the buyer is going to be putting down, the location that they're looking in. There's time of the year, time of the month, all these different factors go into it. Recently I've had buyers that have put in, I think, 4 or 5 different offers that were amazing, great offers that just didn't make it. They were very close. And that was over a course of maybe 2 months that we were out looking for stuff, maybe 2 or 3 homes every weekend. So it can certainly take a while to find something that people want to put an offer in on. And what I'm telling my clients now is, stay positive, don't give up. It's going to take a while. We're going to encounter problems, but we're going to stay the course, and we're going to get through it. And every time that we do, and we stay the course, and my clients, persevere, they get into a house. So, it's a hard market right now for buyers, but just stay in it, keep fighting. Absolutely.
You had mentioned location, and real estate, prior, the 3 words were location, location, and location. Where are you searching now? If you had somebody that calls you and they're like, "Hey, I work in the Treasure Valley and anywhere in the Treasure Valley. Tell me where you're taking your clients to find homes in our region right now.
Well, part of me says I want to take them over to like Northwest Boise, because that's where I live and it's super close, so I can drive really quickly. And no, it really depends. I mean, there's so many factors that go into that as well. It's in order to figure that out, I ask my clients a lot of questions. What are their goals for this property? Is it their forever home? Is it something they're going to live in for a couple of years and then, move up in? Is it, are they looking for certain schools or a lifestyle? If they want to live in an area where they can run and bike to work or whatever, we're going to be looking probably around a 2 to 3 mile radius of downtown or close to the Greenbelt and stuff. If they want to get away from their neighbors and everything, we certainly won't be looking downtown. We might be, looking out west more.
How's the inventory looking?
Inventory is going up a little bit. It's inventory is kind of an interesting thing because when you look at the statistics each month that Boise Regional Realtors puts out, it'll show the amount of inventory. And let's see, for March, our inventory was 599 homes, which is 103% year over year. But, the question is, how much of that is new construction? And how much of that new construction is actually built? Because a lot of times new construction will be listed on the MLS, but won't actually even be built. It'll, be in the process of being built or to be built. So, there's more to it, but inventory is going up, which is a positive thing.
Well, there's a lot new living opportunities being developed currently, and I see it out past 10 Mile and South Cole, and that's hopefully we're catching up with the demand on this community to live in. Hey, why don't you tell us a little bit about your community involvements and passion, Chris? Because we mentioned a little bit and we touched the surface, but looking at your website, so I did a big look. I looked you up and just wanted to do a little deep dive or a bigger deep dive into what you do. And your website is awesome. You've got some great testimonials.
Thank you.
I love the professional photography that you've linked, and it makes you feel like you belong a little bit to the community that you live in. So tell me about some of that community involvement that you're passionate about, Chris.
Yeah, I'm definitely involved in quite a bit, the things that are important to me. Having lived in a lot of different locations, Boise really grabbed a hold of my heart, and this became home almost instantly. And I knew that I didn't want to just take from Boise. I wanted to give back, and I wanted to be a part of its future. And so, getting involved has been very important. From on the business side of things, being a part of the chamber is obviously a big. It's an important part of that for me because you get to meet so many different professionals, and you really do have your ear to the ground and have an idea of what's happening in the Treasure Valley. So within the chamber, there's the tips group, there's an ambassador, there's the transportation committee, and Leadership Boise, which I graduated Leadership Boise in 2021, and I'm on the Leadership Boise alumni committees, and we're looking at applications for this next year right now.
Yep.
And then also being a part of Boise Regional Realtor. I am on the Public Policy Committee, which interviews candidates for any political office in the Treasure Valley to find out who we want to endorse. And so we interview the candidates, and then we will put out our opinion to the realtors and let them know who we think is the best fit, who values the realtors. And then on the, I'm also on another one, which I can't remember at this moment.
Well, you mentioned NNU a little bit at the beginning. And so
Yeah.
I read a little bit about some of your community interests on a personal level in the past. Maybe that's something you're still working with in the community.
With NNU?
Yeah, I thought I saw something there.
Yeah, I guess I was a youth leader for a Nazarene church years ago. I think 2009 to 2011.
Okay.
I thought for a while that being a youth pastor was kind of what I wanted to do. It's not, but for a while I thought it was.
That's great stuff. I mean, if you can impact the lives of others in a positive way, I mean, that's what we all need to do now, right? If you can coach Little League, if you can be a pastor at a youth organization, or I think that's what everybody needs to do, is to impact others in a positive way. And Chris, I just wanted to thank you again for your investment of time with the chamber and investment in this community, helping people find their dream homes or their next flip home, whatever it is for your clients. Thanks for being their shield and the Spartan that you are. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that you're the one who came up with our name of our tips group, the Spartan Tips Group. And I just think it's cool. And I love working with you, Chris.
Thanks, Paul. I appreciate all that. And the day we talked about that at the tips group, that was a hilarious day. I think that we were all laughing more than we were talking any sort of business.
Yep. Awesome. Well, hey, I look forward to seeing you again soon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend or the start of your weekend. And thanks again for your time, Chris.
Yeah. Thanks, Paul.